What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Wiseguys. It's NFL Week 11, and we're talking best bets with the betting goat himself, Anthony Cuz Gargano. Love it. What's going on, my man, Ant?
My man, Geekus Aurelius.
Back together again.
Geekus. Yes, Geekus Aurelius. We had the World Series, and we had some issues with the World Series, so we're back. I'm looking forward to it, and let's have some fun.
Hell yeah.
I had a winner last night, and I should have called you. We had it. I had it on the. In fact, I love Tennessee. I had it with the big brain, my buddy. We do this show in Philly, and I was all about it, man. So I should have let you know. I'm my bad,
Gotta let me know.
I know. I had all Tennessee pizza.
You're having lots of pizzas after that big win. What's going on with Aaron Rodgers, man? He's just not looking very good out there anymore.
I think their offensive line, though, their line is really struggling. There were a couple of times when he looked like he was swimming, wasn't it? Jeez, he looked like he was swimming at times. Yeah,
not looking good. Listen, the old guard, the old guard is moving out across that quarterback position in the NFL right now. It's time for the new guard. It's refreshing, and you're seeing like all these new guys coming up, and these old timers, man. It might be swan song time between Matt Ryan and Rodgers and Brady and Russell Wilson and Matt Stafford. It's like the old names are not looking too good. But let's get into NFL Week 11. And one of the stories of this season, Cuz, is what the Bears are doing with Fields at the helm right now. The run first philosophy. We've never seen a quarterback running. This is unprecedented. I mean, we compared it a little bit to Lamar season 2 and Hurts season 1. And I've talked about Robert Griffin a little bit, who I think is the closest comparison in his first year. But have you ever seen anything like this? What Justin Fields is doing with Chicago right now? 150 yards last 2 weeks.
Yeah, RG3 is a great comparison. Look, I mean, here's the thing. The Bears said, we're going to allow him. Now, I do think that Fields has a better arm than RG3. Bears, though, go, listen, he is such a weapon. I mean, he literally could be a great running back in this league. That's what's so weird about him. He's got a great arm, but he actually could be a really good running back. I mean, we saw Derrick Henry throw a pass last night. But the kid has got a great arm, and I think they're smart. They're like, listen, we're going to play to his strengths. We'll allow him to grow into the position, but until he becomes that thrower, why not let him run? And it's working.
It's true, and he
is larger. Lost since today, but last week, but still.
The crazy thing is Chicago's been losing these games, which I hope they don't take to be a sign against the offensive philosophy they're using with Fields, because primarily the reason they're losing is their defense has been absolutely horrific, and they traded away 2 of their best players, and they kind of seem to not give a shit that they're losing. So, like, I don't put any of these losses on Fields. He's been incredible. But now we've got a game here, and I was a little surprised at the line, and I guess it's because Chicago's been losing, but I'm waiting for your take. But we got
I love the Bears. I'm going to go right to it. Bears against Atlanta. I love Chicago.
You're taking the plus 3.
Yeah, I love them. You know me, I tend to be more of an underdog better anyway, but I love the Bears in this game. Everybody saw them lose to Detroit, and I looked at this game and I went, I don't buy. First of all, I'll take Fields over Mariota, right? Like if you got a better quarterback, then maybe I would go the other way. But it's Fields Mariota. Mariota is not a great quarterback, obviously. I like Fields. I like the Bears. I don't think the Atlanta defense is worse than Chicago's. I think I actually have the better team. So I'm going to take the Bears plus the points. I think they went outright.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is pizza bet territory. I think the bets. So I don't think that I'm 100% with you on this one. This is one of my favorite bets of the week. I don't think Atlanta has the offensive firepower to hang like Detroit does. We've seen them do it. They have a lot of offensive firepower. They're not that good defensively. They have the firepower on offense. The team that doesn't have offensive firepower is the Falcons. They've scored like decently because of their running game, but they don't have, if Chicago starts getting ahead, they don't have the ability to catch up. They don't have the ability really to throw the football very well. So I love this play. I love getting the points. And I think, and this is a geek pizza bet, because I think you could just straight up take the Bears to win this game and maybe even win it by a decent margin.
Yeah, I mean, I would play it Bears minus, I would go Bears -2 and then Bears -9.
Get some alt lines going there.
Yeah, I would do that. I always would bet them before a football number, right? So, and I don't like to do the half point, so I'll do like +2 or +9 when the football numbers are 3 and 10. I think they can win the game by that. And then there's one where you lay your max just to get +575 or some ridiculous number.
Yeah, no, you can get there. You get plus pretty high numbers. That, like, if you want to go Bears -9, 9.5, you're getting some serious juice there. But I mean, the prime bet here would be for me, and it remains Chicago +3. Get your W in there, and I think this is a game you can anchor around different parlays if you're a parlayor.
What I think you should do, and just remember, like from a unit standpoint, when I say -2, -9, like lay those points on alternate lines. So what I would do is say your unit is $100. So lay the 100 on the Bears, and then you could lay 10 -2, 10 -9, right? So go on those increments. If that guy bets $1,000 a game, you put 1,000 on the Bears, and then maybe you take a flyer, $100, $50 on the pizza bet.
I love it. All right, let's move on to game number 2 on the main slate. And of course, this is the Wiseguys, brought to you by the Sharp app. So make sure you check out the Sharp app if you don't have it downloaded and you want to get these plays and more and kind of bet like a sharp, like these bets we're putting out here. So second on the list, we've got the Panthers at Baltimore here, with the Panthers coming in as 13-point road underdogs, 41.5 point total on this one. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw a Q tag pop up on Lamar Jackson just before game time here, just before we went live. And I have not had a chance to look into that Q tag, so I'm going to kind of try to see if I can figure out what that's about. But how do you feel about this one? Panthers, I don't know what to say about them. I think it's Baker Mayfield.
I'm not interested. I'll be honest with you. I'm not.
Baker Mayfield coming back.
Yeah, he stinks. I'm not looking to back Carolina. I'm sorry. Listen, I think that's too many points for Baltimore to lay. But when you reach week 11, all right, Geek, you do not bet on bad teams. Don't do it. It's the way to flush money down the toilet. Don't do it. Don't bet on bad teams. I implore you. I beg you. Now, there might be weeks where the bad team covers, right? But that doesn't mean anything. More often than not, you bet on a bad team, they're going to lose for you. And by week 11, there's a handful of teams that, to me, I would never even bet on.
I would definitely. Well, I'm going to say the flip side of this is no way I'm laying 13. So I'm not touching Baltimore here. And to me, it's a dog or pass bet. If you want to bet it, it almost has to be Carolina, just because. And by the way, I did look up the Q tag, and it's an illness. So forget what I just said. It's just a nothing. It's a nothing Q tag for Lamar. I had only seen it before, so I just, if Lamar's like, a calf injury,
you can't bet Carolina. Seriously, you can't good conscience bet Carolina.
No, but I think you just don't take Baltimore either here. You just skip this one. So we're gonna go no bet on this game.
And listen, it's no shame in saying no bet. There's a couple. It's not a great card. There's a handful of games. There's a game I absolutely love, and there's a couple other ones I like. But there are also a couple of games that I tell you it's not worth it. Like I'm telling you right off the bat, I studied the Rams and the Saints. I would not play that game. It's not a good game to play.
When we get to that one, I'm going to tell you, because I did a whole write-up about how I think both defenses are great. I don't know how the Rams score in this game. There's a lot of problems with that. I'm going to, but also the Saints are going to have I'm leaning Saints, by the way. No, but I don't want to lay the 3.5 because I don't want to.
I've got a lot of people that look like the Rams. They go, they're dead. Would say, they're bad. But so are the Saints. The Saints' offensive line's terrible.
That's the problem.
Some people are telling. I'm hearing all this Saints love. I got news for you. You're a sucker betting the Saints.
Because
Don't do it.
I didn't bet it, but I'm going to tell you. So, like I said, I wrote up that game. So we'll talk about that game now. So that's the Rams plus 3.5 on the road at the Saints. And so here's my analysis of the game went like this. I was like, the first thought is like, oh, the Rams are dead. It's exactly like we got to think double level. The Rams are dead. No Cooper Kupp. They have not been able to move the football outside of Cooper Kupp. No one. They got no running game. It's hard to run on the Saints. So it's like, holy shit, these guys are dead. Oh, yeah. And then I thought, wait a second. You know who else sucks? The Saints. And their offense is really mediocre. And, the Rams have a very good defense. So while I do think the Saints are rightfully favored and should win the game, 3.5, like this could be just an ugly game where a turnover happens, a defensive score. I don't know that either team is going to look great offensively because the Saints offense is also not very good. And the Rams defense actually sets up well against what the Saints do. So it's like, wow, I don't think either team's going to be moving the football very much. And then laying 3.5 seems like a lot of points in a low scoring game. So then my final thought was, screw this one. Same as you. Or
smart.
Yeah.
Or bet the under.
Yeah.
You like that?
I like both defenses. Actually, I wrote up both defenses as solid DFS plays. Both of them. The weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
Both defenses solid DFS plays. So yeah, no bet on that one. Let's talk Cleveland at Buffalo. So they moved the game to the Dome. 7.5 point favorite Buffalo. Cleveland last game. You know who's sitting on a white horse? My boy Deshaun. He's about to ride in. He's got a shiny knight's armor on. He's got the helmet, the whole deal. He's got the sword. He's like, I am your cavalry.
It's going to take him a little time to get back into shape.
I know.
But I feel strongly about this game.
Oh, I like it.
So, yeah. So here's the issue. Cleveland, if the game was in Buffalo, now obviously there's 4 feet of snow in that stadium now, so they could never play. But if they were somehow able to play it, I could see where you would kind of lean Cleveland. Yeah, I love Buffalo in this game, and I'm going to tell you why. The Ford Field fast track is a big deal. The Bills have skill people. Like you think of the Bills, you go, yeah, they're playing the cold weather and all, but they're elite offensively. So I love Gabriel Davis. I think Gabriel Davis has a monster. He sets up. We saw Cleveland outdoors, like the defense, I think can play decently. Indoors, I just think they get raced. They get boat raced. I love the Bills, and I just think because it's on an artificial surface, it's inside, no conditions to worry about. Allen's is a beast. I think they come back in a monster way and they roar. And there's no way Cleveland can keep up with them. I love Buffalo. I mean, if you want to buy the half point just to make it a 7, you can do that. But I don't think you're going to have to worry about it.
I love the play. It's funny. We were talking about it. I didn't even care if it was in Buffalo, by the way. You know what? This idea of being scared about some snow I'm not in that. I am off of that. I don't mind the snow. I like the snow. I don't care. But you put them indoors, it's good for the running game. So it helps Cleveland a little bit. I get it. Wind is way worse than snow. I play football in the snow. It's not that big of a deal. You got
this is 5 feet though.
No, the 5 feet. This is Buffalo. They know how to remove snow quickly.
No, not 5 feet of snow. You're not.
5 feet of snow is an average Tuesday in December in Buffalo.
No, it's not, you crazy bastard.
They wake up. 5 feet of snow is like the equivalent of a 2-inch nothing in Philly.
Dude, it looks like did you see it? Did you see it?
You don't think they know how to get rid of snow? This isn't Texas. This is Buffalo. They're used to snow.
No, okay, but there's a difference between 5 feet and 2 feet. Did you see the difference?
No.
Did you see it? Look at Google. Go on Twitter and while it still exists, and search the stadium. Where do you see those pictures?
Twitter's over tonight. I don't care what it looks like on Friday. We're talking about Sunday. They got people to shovel it. They got some dudes.
No, they don't. No dudes. You're out of your mind, you crazy bastard. No, man.
Let me tell you something. I got 3 kids that walk around the neighborhood here. Every snowstorm, I send them up to Buffalo. They'd have that whole stadium cleared in 2 hours. The whole thing. 3
Oh,
teenagers
it's
that come
great.
over here every time it snows. I'm like, love
Snow
you guys.
Patrol.
What do you give? What do you give the kids when they come to your house? Or you got boys, so they're shoveling your snow. What are you giving your kids? Do you give your kids that money to shovel the snow, or they just do it? And you better be making them shovel that snow.
Well, first of all, I do it with them.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's me and the 2 of them out there.
You
But
give 'em
no, we
25?
don't. Well, I don't give them anything. I mean, they're helping me, so I'm out there with them. So
when they get a little
the
older
3
and
of
you
us.
send them out without you, $20 usually does the job.
Yeah, 20 spot is always the key.
Yeah.
But now I'm not giving no $20. I mean, I'm out there too. So
yeah, no.
I may treat them. It may be a treat. Hey,
No,
we'll
I
go get a
agree.
pizza. So I don't know, whatever.
That's what's up. Get a little Italian beef.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially my oldest. My oldest eats me out. He's 13. He just turned 13 Friday. He wears a size. Last Friday he turned 13. He wears a size 13 sneaker, and he is 5'11", 65, 170 pounds, and he eats like a whole pizza to himself.
No.
Yeah.
To be a teenager.
I
And
know.
that appetite and growing. Who knows how big
Yeah.
that kid's going to get by the time he's
He's in
done.
7th grade.
He's in 7th grade. He's 5'11". He could. Who knows?
He's
Offensive
got nice
lineman.
Yeah, so he's playing center, and he's got a championship game tomorrow. He plays center and defensive tackle. So my wife gets him the new LeBrons. So the other day I'm walking, I go, wow, man, these things. I wear a size 13, and he wears a size 13. So I can wear the sneaker. I wear the new bronze. But then I'm going, if I wear his new sneakers, then I'm getting crossed by my wife. Why you wear the sneakers? Blah, blah, blah. You know that.
What the? Wait. What, you too? Hold on a second. This happens in your house? All right, let me tell you what goes on in my house. My kids are walking around with Air Jordans, Air Force Ones. I don't even know what they're called. Like, they're taking pictures, sending each other. I'm looking at the sneakers going, I got my New Balance at Marshall's.
You got your dad's sneakers.
My $24.99 New Balance over at the Marshalls. I wear them. I got my shorts on and the socks pulled up and the white sneakers. And I'm like, wait a second. My kid's got one pair of sneakers. My whole lifetime's worth of these. I can add my last 10 pairs up for that one. What the hell's going on here? Why am I walking around with New Balance and my kid's got Air Force One 150? I don't know. And my wife is buying it. She doesn't tell me. I don't even know.
Listen,
like,
I hear you.
what?
But if I would have worn the new bronze,
then you're not even allowed to wear.
Right. And I bought them.
You paid for them. Why does your kid have more fancy shoes than what you have?
Thank you. Acceptable. I got Pumas.
Yeah, he's walking around with Olympians. Pay less, buy one, second pair half off.
Olympians. Bobos. You ever heard the term Bobo?
No.
Bobo sneakers. Bobos.
Listen,
they cost $1.99. Bobos to make your feet feel fine. No?
When I was a kid and walking around in Brooklyn, not when I was a teenager, like not a teenager, like a tween, like 12, 11, walk around in Brooklyn. Some kids were running around, bullying everybody. And, they take your sneakers. I lost my audio on you, cuz you gotta come out and come back in. We lost the audio on you, my man. But I had so they came around like this kind of gang. X out, come back in so I can hear you. But we had to go.
Guys. Well, that was my wife calling.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So when she calls, that interrupts the connection.
That's what's going on. I'm going to delete that part that we just did. But to complete the story, I'll edit that out. But to complete the story, so they're like coming to take your sneakers, right? To beat you up to take your sneakers. And they saw me and they're like, wait a minute. What are you wearing? Olympians? That's why I remember the Olympians. I was like, what's wrong with Olympians? I didn't even know. Like, I was like 11. I didn't know it wasn't cool. And they're like, I don't even want your sneakers. Get out of here. They don't even want to beat me up for my sneakers. They let me go. They're like, get out of here, freaking Olympians. Did you get them at Payless? I'm like, yeah, I did get them at Payless. Did you know where I went? How'd you know? I didn't even know it wasn't cool. I was just like, I thought they were fine. What's wrong with Olympians?
You're the best. I
Oh,
love it, Geek. That's
bro,
classic.
I had Olympians. All right, next, now we win these pizza bets. We're gonna call them sneaker bets. You put a pizza
Yes.
up,
Yes.
you get a
Yeah.
fancy pair of
You
sneakers.
come back with his sneakers. Yes.
Yeah,
I love it.
Jordans, bro. All right, Washington at Houston. 40.5-point total on this game. Houston's coming in as 3-point home underdogs. And, Heineke looks, he's looking better than what Wentz looked like.
Yeah, he's definitely been better Wentz. Listen, I watched him. I saw him up close. I think they probably should win the game. I don't really want to touch. I'm really not that interested in the game. But the one thing Washington did was able to run the ball. I do like B-Rob back. I like the fact they can run the ball with those two guys, having Robinson
Gibson will
and
be there.
Gibson. I
Yeah.
mean, I think with Scary Terry, you can run some stuff with Samuel. I think they're decent. I thought their defense would be better, but they're not a bad team. Washington's not a bad team. They should win the game. It's a short week on the road. I'm not in love with that spot, but if I had to bet it, I would bet Washington.
It was a loss of destiny for the Eagles last week. Every once in a while, the football gods say you're going to lose this game, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong, including a bad call, including weird interceptions that don't normally happen. I was watching that game going, the football gods are not going to allow they need to take their L. The Eagles needed to take their L. It's healthy.
Yeah,
for the
I
team.
also think I think the defensive coordinator is horrible. So he called a terrible game, and I thought, that was one thing. One of the reasons why they lost. I hear you on that. I kind of expect you and I texted about the game. I liked the over in that game, and
I think
it did, and I thought I didn't like. I didn't thought the points were too many. I told you 13 was way too many points. So I didn't think they'd lose, but I thought it'd be a lot closer.
That was nuts. I mean, that was the ultimate pizza bet, just taking them to win. You probably got I think it was like plus 350. So that would have been an incredible bet. I didn't think for a minute. But for me, my takeaway was, listen, every team got to take their L once in a while.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen. Yeah, I mean, that's this league. This league is Buffalo has lost twice, right?
Buffalo
Eagles are a really good team. Yeah,
they lost to the freaking Jets. You got to take your L once in a while. There's no doubt about it. But Washington looks kind of competent, and they have a good running game. Houston can't stop the run. Houston's offense is not very good, so I do like Washington on the road here. But hey, you're laying 3. I'm not going to make it a prime bet, but I do like the Washington side as well. All right, let's move on to a local team. Here we go, Philly. Eagles fly. -6.5 on the road at the Colts. The Colts bring back Matt Ryan. Got a 45-point total here. Matt Ryan back under the helm for the Colts. Jonathan Taylor healthy and back doing his thing. Eagles.
I like the under in this game.
It's a 45-point total, so you'd be under 45 there.
Yep, I like under. Here's a couple things. One, in this game, no Dallas Goedert. I'm a little concerned with the Eagles offense because Goddard means a lot. So this is their first game without him. They don't really have a true backup.
I was going to say, who steps up in his place? Jack Stoll. There's some rookie.
Right. Exactly. But there's no one close to him. So that's an issue. What I think you'll see, obviously the receivers see more action, right? So, A.J. Brown, Devontae will have a lot, we'll have a lot more pressure on them. They'll get a lot more volume, I think, to use your DFS terms. So of the Goddard's plays are going to probably go there, not to the backup tight end. So I'm a little curious about how their offense is going to go. And I'll tell you this: I don't like the Eagles know the Colts well. All right, I mean Matt Ryan. I gotta believe that they're going to run the ball. That Matt Ryan's going to come in, and it's going to be all Jonathan Taylor. Now, Jonathan Taylor is from South Jersey. He was a huge Eagles fan growing up. I could see him having success. I could see them eating the ball up, eating on the ground. Now Will he run wild? Probably not. I mean, Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, that was the issue last week. So my guess is he buttons up the run defense a little bit, but I do think they have some success running the ball. I think the Eagles will try to run the ball. I could see this thing being a really low-scoring game. So I love the under 45.
I like
And remember, Nick Sirianni knows the Colts inside and out. He came from Indy. He knows that team. He's got good intel there. So, and he also knows how to look at a Gus Bradley defense, and partly that's going to be to run the ball against a Gus Bradley defense.
You're gonna see the Eagles offensively. Like I think the Colts are gonna have a hard time throwing the football here. Just that Colts offensive line, somehow having Jeff Saturday, an offensive lineman as their coach, like inspired them last week or something, whatever you want to say. But that only goes so far. There's still some issues on that offensive line. I think the Eagles will be able to knock Matt Ryan around a little bit. And that's going to be a problem. I'm really looking at I'm kind of looking at Paris Campbell as the X factor on the Colts side, because he's probably going to avoid Darius Slay in coverage, and it's like, hey man, if they'll need him to get something going if they're going to have any sort of chance of.
Yeah, but Bradbury's pretty good.
It might be Bradbury on Pierce. You might see Paris Campbell in the slot a little bit. Yeah, Bradbury's great too, though. I love both of the outside corners for the Eagles. I've been talking about all year, just not messing with either of those two guys. But you might see Paris Campbell a little bit in the slot. But in general, yeah, I like the play here. The under really makes a lot of sense. And you see, I would expect both teams to be run heavy, which should drain that clock a little quicker than usual. Love the play. All right. Jets, Patriots home, 3.5-point favorites, disgusting 38-point total. And cause this is a game. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure. I kind of think the Jets are good here, but my issue is Belichick knows how to confound and confuse bad quarterbacks. He must be well aware, because he's Bill Belichick, that Zach Wilson is the absolute worst quarterback in the NFL. This side of, I think this Mac Jones under pressure. The second worst, Mac Jones. So we got two guys. Who's the third worst? He's out. Wentz, right? Mac Jones, two horrible under pressure quarterbacks, and Zach Wilson. So as much as I kind of think the Jets should be favored maybe here, and or taking the points, you got to almost take the points. But at the flip side is, do I really want to trust Zach Wilson against the Belichick defense? And the answer is no. So I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger in this game. I definitely lean to getting the points, just because two teams that are not very good, you want to take the 3.5. But man, I don't know. I couldn't pull the trigger. What do you say here?
I would go to New England. I'd buy the half point, bring it down to 3. That's the only way I would play the game.
I'm out on it. I can't bet it.
Yeah, I'm not bet. I wouldn't bet it, but if
Jets are winning games,
you ask me a strategy to bet it, I would lay 3. I'd buy the half. I'd lay the 3, and it's partly because of what you said. Because this to me is a bet on Belichick, and I think New England could. I think they win the game, and chances are they win by 3. But you don't need to bet every game, so that's the lure. That's the beauty of it.
I'm not feeling that one. I like I said, for me, my slight lean is Jets, and I don't want to do it. I'm like too jaded of a fan to play the Jets on the road at New England. It's just I've been it's like 20 years. We don't win this game, so things are different this year, but maybe not different enough. We already talked about that Rams Saints game, so let's jump over to Detroit at the Giants.
This is a Lions line all the way.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit's getting
it's a
3
Detroit
here.
line, man. Everybody wants to bet the Giants, right? You got the team with the better record. You got the team with Saquon. You got this whole forget about it. It's the line. Sometimes the line tells you who to go with, and to me, the line is begging you to bet the Lions, because everybody will be on the Giants, and the Lambs will get led to slaughter.
The squares all over the Giants in this spot.
Where's the money at? Tell me. You know it. You
Hang
have it
on,
right there on the Sharp app.
I'm pulling it up. I got to jump to the Sharp app and kind of get a look at this one.
I would be surprised if there's one bet on Detroit right now.
Let's see here. Let me pull this bad boy up, and we'll get some betting handles on this thing. I also want to see where the line. Oh, here we go. So, line started at +4.5, and it's now at +3. And you know what? The sharp money. So here we go. The squares are on the Giants, cuz 63% of the bets, but only 37% of the money. So the smart money has been betting on Detroit, which has brought that Detroit line down at this point where you'll need to search for 3.5 to get in 3.5. It's coming down to 3. So there you go, man. You're on the right side of it. We could have gotten on this a little earlier. Let me see if there's any book that still has it at 3.5. No. There is no. So it's now 3, but this was a 4.5. So the smart money has absolutely been on the lines here. I love it. You're always on the sharp side. Wise guys. You know what the definition of a wise guy is? It's a sharp better. That's a sharp better. It's a wise guy. That's what they say. Oh, he's a wise guy.
Wise guy don't carry a wallet.
You don't carry a wallet either.
No, wise guy, you carry your money clip, right?
Don don't carry a wallet. Let me put that away. Sorry. What if you're a messy wise guy that loses all their shit? I need a wallet, bro. I'm a mess.
You got to put the bean on top. You know what the bean is?
Is that the rubber band? Wait, no, the $100 bill. Oh no, the $100 bill.
Yeah, the bean's on top, Lefty.
All singles and a bean on the top. Yeah. I know what you mean.
A bean.
All right, that was Detroit Giants. So we both agree Lions +3. Would have loved to get this +4.5 earlier in the week, but even you got to take the plus. You want to be with the wise guys. You want to be on the sharp side. The sharp side, Lions. All right. Next up, we've got the Raiders at Denver taking on the Raiders. What a disappointing team. The Raiders.
Worse than that. They're horribly coached. They're bad. They're pathetic. They got no money. They're just a bad franchise. It's amazing. Bill Plaschke, one of the great LA Times columnists who I used to work with back in the day, who fantastic, wrote a piece talking about how destitute the Raiders franchise is and the fact that they can't afford to fire Josh McDaniels. That was a report this week in LA. Yep.
I don't know what the story is with McDaniels. Why is he so good as an offensive coordinator? But the minute he turns into a head coach, it hasn't worked out. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think he needs more than 1 year. But, the signs are not very good to start. The Raiders have had a horrible start. But the other team that sucks is Denver. So,
Yeah. Speaking of bad coaches, Hackett, are you kidding me? First of all, I'm going to tell you, I in a weird way, I kind of like the Broncos in this game because the game's at home. And the Broncos have a better defense. But then I think, how could you bet on the Broncos? Like that team, that coach is horrible. The quarterback's cooked. And you start to look at it and you go, you're better off sitting and taking a knee on that game.
This one's gross. I can't. And it's funny. It's at a great number, the 2.5. Like if I really felt a certain way about this game, I really could lean there. But I just don't. I can't. I'm exactly with you. Like Russell Wilson just not been very good. Their running game is just like really weird. They lost their best player. Essentially, when they lost Javonte, they lost their best offensive player. The guy they could have run. You could have a team if you just have Javonte in the defense. You kind of don't need Russ to do that much. But now it's Melvin Gordon and freaking Lats Murray. And I could see Vegas getting things going a little bit with Josh Jacobs, but man, it's hard to throw on the Broncos too. And they have an elite corner. They should be able to kind of shut down Devontae Adams a little bit.
I'd stay away from this thing. Yeah.
No bet. No play on this one. Here is a team dear to your heart, and you better have a play for me on this game. This is one I need to know. I've got some thoughts. We got Dallas at Minnesota. One of
Okay,
my
this is my
favorite games of the
favorite.
week.
This is my favorite play of the week.
Ooh, okay. I could not be happier that you're saying that because I
This
love
is
this game. I'm not going to say
so
which
do I.
side I like, but I love the game. Dallas 1.5-point road favorites, 47.5-point total. Dallas coming off of a couple of big offensive performances. You know, I like Dak better with Zeke out. I'm just going to tell you right now. My guy Dak looks good as a quarterback. I feel like with Zeke in there, it's almost like they're just trying to force it to him, and he makes the offense worse. He makes the offense worse for me. I don't like
Well,
it.
I mean, remember they're coming off the loss against Green Bay.
That's fair, but yeah, you're gonna win, you're gonna lose, whatever. But that offense looked really good. I don't care. Dak throwing the football. It's kind of like what happened with Fields. I can't blame defensive woes. They just had that was just one of those games where you know, and Green Bay sucks too. It's weird that they lost that game, but I still love the way Dallas offense looked in it.
So let's look at this. Minnesota's 8-1, right? The Cowboys are 6-3. The Cowboys are coming off of everybody saw it because it was the national game at 4 o'clock. Everybody saw the Cowboys lose to Green Bay, and then everybody that incredible game where Minnesota beats Buffalo, and then they come in with the Cowboys favorite. I love Dallas in this game. I do. I think the matchup works well. I think all they got to do is take out Jefferson, and I think they're good against the run. I think you have Parsons to really kind of attack Cousins, and I think offensively, I agree with you. I think they're going to move the ball. I like the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys win this thing by double digits.
Taking a look at the handles on this one, the Sharps agree with you. 50-50 split on the betting tickets, but 80% of the money is coming in on Dallas. Let me see if the line has moved at all here. We haven't seen a ton of line movement. It started at -2.5. It's at -1.5. So, you know, it's minimal line movement, not insignificant line movement, because 2.5 to 1.5 is not really a significant move. But yeah, I love it as well. I like the Dallas side of this one. Although, again, I've been away. I have not thought. I kind of think that Minnesota. It reminds me a little bit of They're a better team than Tennessee was last year, but like it's kind of like they keep surprisingly winning in games in spots where I don't expect them to. And I don't know if that's going to keep going, but if they do it here, it would be another scenario like that. But yeah, I agree. I like Dallas, and I like them coming off the loss. I also, you know, it's a classic because we beat the Bills. We won the Super Bowl in the most intense game I've ever seen. That was one of the greatest endings of any football game. You know, complain about some of the calls and how it went down, but like that was bananas at the end, and the emotional sort of high, you got to come down off of that. So they're I hate to say it, but they're probably due for a smidge of a letdown here. And you know, so that's where we're going with that one. I like the Dallas play. I'm on that as well. Yeah, I'm on that one as well. So last game of the main slate, Bengals at the Steelers. Division rival. Steelers +4 in this one. And the total is set at 41 points. I got to tell you, cuz I kind of think +4 is like Bengals are only -4 against the Steelers.
I like the Steelers in this game.
Okay, there
So
it is.
I do. I like the Steelers. You get Watt back. I think your guy. I think they're going to look at it. This reminds me of the one signature win the Steelers will have all year. Like this is going to be their game where they look good, they pressure, because remember the Bengals offensive line's bad. They're able to get pressure on Burrow, and I think this is the one game that they hang their hat on for the season. Like they go, oh, yeah, this is it. Look, remember that win? That was a big win against the Bengals, and I think they win pretty well. So I think they win the game outright.
I'll give you one of the DFS plays for the week here. I have the Steelers defense targeted as the, quote, cheapest viable defense on the slate for this reason. The return of Watt, the propensity for Burrow to take sacks, it's been very high. Bengals defense has been, though, a little bit better than people give them credit for. But I think that Steelers offense is less bad than we're giving them credit for, too. And I say less bad, because they played pretty much a murderer's row of opponents since Kenny Pickett took over. And he looks worse than maybe he might be. Because listen, everybody kind of looks bad playing Buffalo or the Eagles or some of these better defensive teams. Now you kind of get a Bengals team. They're also a good defense, so I'm not going to take it away. Bengals defense has been pretty good, but I think I already like Steelers defense a little bit in this spot. They'll need some turnovers. They'll need to do it a little bit defensively.
I agree. I think they do well. I think that's a great advice for you for DFS on Sunday. You should definitely play the Steelers defense.
You take that Steelers defense, and per usual, because the Sharps agree with your take in this one as the Steelers. I mean, this is absolute insanity, but 50-50 bet percentage between these two teams, 94% of the money coming in on the Steelers, 94%. The line went from 5.5 to 4 for that reason. So the line has gone from Steelers plus 5.5 earlier to now Steelers plus 4 for that reason. So they bet the shit out of this one, especially at 5.5 at those levels, pushing it down to here. So hopefully that one came in early. We got a Sunday nighter because the Chiefs at the Chargers. They're on the road. Chargers, we don't know. They might get back Mike Thomas or Mike Williams. They might get back Keenan Allen. I doubt that Allen's coming back, but Mike Williams might come back.
Yeah, Williams probably should. Either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, I know that game was 3 in Kansas City when they played the first time, 27-24. It was a Kansas City win. I like Kansas City again. There's no home field whatsoever in LA. There'll be more Chiefs fans. In fact, Chiefs will be there'll be more Chiefs fans than Chargers fans in that game. And I still don't think they have enough firepower for Kansas City. So I like Kansas City in the game. I think they win it, and I think they win it by close to double digits.
Take a look at the but handles are favoring the Chargers in this one a little bit. So the bigger money is coming in on the Chargers side. I just listen. By the way, after I said Kadarius Tony has done it again, I'm getting on the radio show the other day. I just want to mention I'm getting tweets about that. They're hitting me up. Am I playing Tony? Is he doing it again? I'm just excited about the
Tony has done it again. I loved it because he cracked me up.
So I'm excited just to watch that game more than anything else. KC comes back so quickly. They score fast. You don't have to worry about the number. If you think KC is going to win, and I pretty much do. The Chargers haven't been that good this year. They haven't been winning games the way they need to be. And I could see Eckler kind of carrying a game on his back a little bit, but yeah, I think I like the KC side as well. So I agree with you there.
I like Kansas City. I can see Eckler having a big game. But I just think Kansas City, I like it. I'm with you though. I go Tony.
Oh man, Kadarius, so exciting on a team if they're going to use him. Let's see if that happens. I still don't know what the hell happened in New York. Desperate for wide receivers, and he couldn't make it. Last game of the slate, we got San Francisco at Arizona.
49ers. All day long, lay it. By the way, I would bet San Fran over the next few weeks. I'd lay the points, bet the Niners. Niners are good. They're going to go on the streak. They're going to start winning games. They won last week. You saw in which way they did it. I'm telling you, they had Elijah Mitchell back with McCaffrey, Debo. I love the Niners. I think the Niners are nasty. They're getting healthier on defense. I think the Niners roll Arizona, and I think they go on a streak.
Not only do I fully agree, I'm going to go further because the part that you didn't mention is the badness of Arizona. When Kyler Murray gets a Q tag, you stay away from anything to do with Kyler Murray. When the team said, "Oh, we got to keep him in the pocket. He's got an injury. He's got a leg. He's got a shoulder. He's got he's injured now. They're going to play him, but when he plays hurt, his superpowers are gone. It's like Superman
You know about the
playing with
Call of
kryptonite
Duty?
in his pocket.
Do you know about the Call of Duty situation?
No, I keep hearing about this. So what happened with Call of Duty? Like they released a new
So
patch.
Warzone drops, right? So he's such a big Call of Duty guy that, or as Mickey Rourke said in The Wrestler, Call it Duty. And you watch, he had a long week, not staying up. I mean, staying up all night, playing the Call of Duty. I'm telling you, it's wrong. I love the Niners every which way. He don't have anything to do with any part of that Niner defense. Go San Fran. Whatever you win Sunday, lay it on the Niners.
Because I'm all about it. So here are the plays. Here are the plays for this week. You ready for this? Bears +3.
Right.
Build
That's
around
official
game.
play.
Build around game. Bills -7.5. Smash it.
And
Eagles,
Gabriel Davis anytime score.
JB Davis. Ooh, I like that. And by the way, love that prop. Eagles under 45 on the total. Stay away from the bet. We got the Lions +3. Suck a bet on the Giants. Dallas, suck a bet. Dallas -5 or -1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
Dallas
Love Dallas.
Gets the win. Dallas gets the win. And
Dallas
fact,
maybe even a pizza bet.
The one game I'm sniffing around the potential of kind of teasing, maybe teasing a couple of these. So maybe get some plus points on Dallas, for example. If I could tease San Francisco and Dallas together, I might have some interest in doing that. Get that San Francisco number down to 3, get Dallas down to +3, and really lock it in for a little bit higher bet if you want to be a little safer about it. But I love the bet as well. Steelers to get their one, signature win of the year, +4. And that's another one. If we teased it, get them up to 7.5. If we wanted to tease it alongside either that San Francisco or I don't know, maybe the other one to tease with is that 13-pointer.
Baltimore. Yeah,
I don't like that one too much. And then Chiefs -5 Monday night. And then of course
that's a game that you could tease because you're basically taking that down to nothing.
Yeah, if you could get that one, just there we go, like that 5-pointer. And so I'm going to look for maybe some teasers with that KC game. And of course, Monday night, San Francisco, all day, domination on the road.
That's a great tease because you take it through a football number. 8 becomes 2. So love the Niners all day.
You just do a little primetime tease, a little Sunday night, Monday night teaser with KC and San Francisco. Feel really good about kind of both of those teams just winning their games. I like the plays as always. Cuz I appreciate you coming on, breaking this down with me, the wise guys. We try to do it every week. And of course, if you're wanting more of this content, want to get some of that betting handle data, want to get all that good stuff, you don't have the Sharp app, make sure you grab that now. Go and download the Sharp app. It's incredible free tools. We got premium tools that'll blow your mind. I'm going to put all these bets and you could tail my bets. Anybody who's on the Sharp app, cuz, do you know this? You could tail my bets. I put them in the Sharp app. You could see them. Pro subscribers.
Of course I know this.
You could see what I do. You could see what I do. You could see my betting record. I'm not going to lie. Didn't have the best week last week because I didn't have my cuz with me. It never goes right.
Wow. This week, we slay him this week, brother.
We're gonna slay. Everybody's gonna slay, man. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.